We're live at Breakbulk Europe in Rotterdam, and I have the pleasure of being with Daniel Wieland, Head of Global Projects for DSV, which of course now incorporates DB Schenker.
It does, yes. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. So, as we said, you're now a new merged entity. Just step back a bit and talk about the strength of the individual project teams before the coming together.
Both project organizations were of almost equal size. And what we found out very quickly, and which is of course positive for us, is that it's quite complementary. So we have seen strong areas in one entity in the legacy DSV side, and we have seen others in the legacy Schenker side, which is actually the best setup you can try to find, right?
So for those who might be curious how important projects is for the new DSV, what can you tell us there?
Yeah. What has happened and what was established basically with the takeover is that we have established a product on global level, on regional level, on country level, which means that I myself report into the CEO, into the divisional CEO in our Air and Sea division, next to my colleagues responsible for air freight and ocean freight, project logistics, or as we call it, global projects and industry solutions, an integral part of Air and Sea. And that's for the first time the case within the DSV. And that shows very clearly the ambition of the company to grow in that field much more focused and much stronger than in the previous years.
And you described the two organizations as quite complementary. Tell us why you say that, and perhaps what you can offer for your project cargo customers as a result of this change.
Yeah. I would like to give you an example. Legacy DSV has always been very strong in the wind energy side. So wind energy meaning everything that people have in mind when they think about windmill, right? You have the blades, you have the towers and the nacelles and everything. But then there's also another part to it when you look at the overall supply chain, and this is the whole area of power transmission, storage, the grid system. Because the energy that maybe is produced offshore somewhere in the North Sea needs to be brought to the hinterland, to Bavaria, or to many other places in Europe. And there's also massive investments going into that area. And that is a field where the legacy Schenker has been very strong. So if you combine the two things, you can basically cover the entire value chain.
And this is definitely a people business. So what challenges have you had in bringing together so many people from around the world?
It's that the people topic is exactly probably the most important one, because at the end of the day, as we always say in our industry, it's a people's business. It's a client who wants to look at the team, wants to see who is there and whether they are capable to execute the project, right? So that therefore we need the project managers, we need the operators, and we have had lots of discussions to form the teams in the certain countries. We have applied the best athlete principle in terms of team size, in terms of experience, to see who will eventually lead the teams. We have done everything. We have finished that process, and we are now looking forward with a team, more than 1,000 people in more than 60 locations worldwide, so dedicated project logistics specialists.
And whenever there's a big acquisition or a change of this kind, customers might be wary. From a customer perspective, what do you think has changed in terms of the project cargo service that you're offering from now one organization, but what was two?
I don't think there's so much that has changed, because the people are still there. The people, to a large extent, are still serving the same clients, as I said earlier on, quite complementary. So we are still serving the clients with the legacy teams. Then we add new colleagues to certain teams. We also enhance it with our engineering team, with our chartering team. So at the end of the day, we can offer a broader service, also connecting the different dots in the world when we then use and leverage certain client relationships to also expand business into new geographies where we have not been active in the past with this specific client, and then also the other way around.
And when you look at your project business, where in the world are you seeing most growth or most opportunity? Which markets and which sectors are you excited about?
I would say one of the most relevant sectors for all of us in industry is energy. What we see clearly is that nowadays it's of highest importance for many countries, but also for industries and businesses, to make sure that the supply of energy is resilient, that you can control it, and there's many things going on. So you see lots of investments happening, and it can be the more traditional fossil fuel energy in the oil and gas and the LNG side, but it can also be renewable wind energy, solar. So that's definitely one area. The other area is mining. And people normally, when they think of mining, they think of coal and iron ore. And iron ore, to a certain extent, is still around. But in order to produce the the amount of electrical vehicles needed. You need those EV batteries, battery metals, be it lithium, be it copper, and all of this. So mining of those particular metals is of highest importance for many. And if I look into energy, if I look into mining, then automatically the regions become also clearer. So mining very much South America, Australia, Africa coming, energy more or less worldwide. And with what is happening in the Middle East, we will see a lot of investments that have now stopped. They're coming back to the market, and there is also a little bit of rebuilding needed, unfortunately. And then we have also completely new sectors. So look into the data centers, the semicons, of course, also related to the energy demand of that. But with everything happening in that area, we will also see a huge demand for CapEx investment in that area.
And I read that you said you had an ambition to make DSV a leading player in project logistics. Mm-hmm. So what does that success look like?
So if we meet each other in 5 years from now, right? I think I would like to have achieved 3 things. Number one, we would want to be considered on the EPC side, on the end client side, as one of the players they always have on the list if they have a complex, large capital project they need to execute. Number two, we would like to add value for our shareholders. So we would like to, when it comes to financial performance, outperform our competitors. And number three, we always talk about talents. I would like to have not only young talents, but talents overall, if they think about the next career move, to really consider DSV as a place where they can grow, where they can move around, where they can bring in creative ideas, innovative solutions for the benefit of the client.
And finally, I just want to ask you a bit about the heritage of the Schenker name in projects, because it was such a strong name, and I think a lot of people in the industry were a bit sad to see it go. So how did you treat that? How do you respect that? And in terms of growing that into the new business, and what's been your approach with that?
Yeah, Schenker has built a strong reputation in the industry, and but at the end of the day, it goes all back to the people, right? I mean, clients, they want to work with the people they know for many years, they trust that they can execute the business. And those people we have, they're still around. We work with them. We have now even larger team. And I have to say, I consider DSV a little bit like a sleeping giant when it comes to project logistics. But that's actually quite a challenging position to be in, right? To grow the business, to convince the market that we can provide excellent and best-in-class services where we obviously, where we focus on safety, on compliance in all aspects, on operational excellence, and at the end of the day, to provide the innovative solutions that the clients are expecting from a company like us.
Daniel, thank you very much for your time. Good luck, and we'll check in with you in a few years and see how you're getting on.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.